Welcome to Life is for Living. I am Kylee Jane Buckley and I'm here with David J Riddell from the School of Living Wisdom. Hi, David.
Hey, nice to be back.
Yes. Well, today I thought we would speak about people that steal, about theft, why they do it, and how to get to that place of thinking that it's a good thing to do.
Yes, well, it's a fairly easy one to actually get your head around when you boil it down to a quick fix, a soft option to be wealthy, to have financial power, to get what you want when you want it. After all, we are all involved in the search to get what we want when we want it. It's our daily activity. But I do feel sympathy for the thief because they learned as a child to get what they want when they want it the easy way. And so this is like looking up the answers in the back of the arithmetic book. It's the shortcut to the answers, but it never teaches how to resolve a mathematics problem or how to gain arithmetic strength of mind. If you only look up the answers and if you only cheat, you never develop confidence in your topic and you end up with fraudster syndrome and you end up unable to really do it the hard way. And the thing about stealing is that you discover an easy way of getting to your goal, and that becomes an addiction. So I consider all theft to be an addiction for people who have never discovered delayed gratification.
Mhm.
Why would you work an hour to make $20 if you could pinch it in 20 seconds? It just makes working for a whole hour to earn $20 sound tedious and too hard because you've found the shortcut, you've found the quick fix. When the mind finds a shortcut, it doesn't easily go the long way round again.
Hmm.
And it's really no different to using a credit card to get what you want when you want it without thinking about the debt that you're accumulating and how hard that's going to be to pay off. So it's short-term gain for long-term pain, but the child doesn't know that. They don't look ahead and see that nobody trusts a thief. They don't see it's going to cost them friendships, a support group, social status. They don't see it's going to cost them even their freedom eventually. They see none of that. They just see a shortcut to the sense of financial powerlessness and the sense of going without that is really hurting them as a child. And I believe one of the best ways to thief proof your children is to give them a means to earn money. A
Right.
powerless child who cannot earn money will turn to theft 9 times out of 10 because it's the only way to get the toys they want, or the shoes they want, or the status they want, or the thing they want. If they can't earn the money, what else are they going to do if they're ambitious and they want stuff? So it's very important that parents keep a step ahead of that, particularly for the highly motivated, ambitious child. They're the ones that are most vulnerable to begin stealing. They've got dreams, they've got desires. And those kids need to be able to earn $10 by washing the family car or $20 by doing weeding the garden, so that they don't end up in powerlessness, so that they don't end up tempting just to grab stuff. It's not hard to steal, it's hard to stop stealing.
Interesting. And I suppose, while you're talking, I was thinking about even at like not just taking somebody's washing off the clothesline or something like that, but what about when people make a career of it, like men living off women that have more, or even I'm guessing there's women that live off men as well, where they make a lifestyle of it.
Well, there's all kinds of stealing. You can steal time from your employer by taking longer than you should for lunch or smoko, the break. There's all sorts of ways of stealing. You can live in a marriage or in a relationship and do stuff all to support your end of the tasks, just basically being lazy or living off your spouse.
Mm.
Most people, what they really want, though, is an opportunity to get their teeth into something.
Mm.
They say that a kid in sport stays out of court. Well, a kid with a job that enables them to have spending money also stays out of court.
Yes.
Now, let me show you this. You know what this is?
It's a
It's
wallet.
a wallet. Now, this wallet, I've had it since I was 8 years old, and I keep it to remind me that I also once took a quick fix. I had no cash, but I really wanted this wallet because it was a beautiful leather wallet and it symbolized adulthood, or it symbolized financial power. And because I couldn't find a job to earn any money, I decided that I would simply have it by stealing it. So this is stolen property. And I've kept this wallet because it reminds me of our vulnerability to go for quick fixes. I was on holiday at the time. Of course, I had a slash of conscience, but I couldn't send it back because we weren't in that town any longer, and there was nowhere I could take it to, and they wouldn't have taken it back anyway. So I remember this wallet because I'm still in debt, of course, to the shopkeeper who I pinched it off. But at that time, I wasn't thinking about the fact that you can't trade if you can't rely on people's honesty. I wasn't thinking about the fact that I threatened his business by stealing his stock. I wasn't thinking about my reputation if people found out that I was a thief. I wasn't thinking ahead at all. All I knew was I wanted this wallet and I was financially powerless to get it.
Hmm.
And I've had this wallet for most of my 70 years now. I don't think even my wife knows it was stolen, but now the whole world knows.
You might have a knock at the door.
Now, most people, when they're ashamed, they get rid of whatever it is that they're ashamed of, but I keep it to remind me of how vulnerable I am, that we are all sinners and that we all make mistakes, and learning how to succeed. And this was a classic blunder for me in trying to succeed. Owning this wallet, I already looked like a success. But of
Mhm.
course, I cheated to get there. And it helps to keep me humble, but it also helps to remind me of the path that my client is on as I seek to free them from what is a pretty strong addiction. I like to call it compulsive shopping's little brother or big sister. I like to think of compulsive shopping as the little sister to stealing because you're using money you haven't got and you've got no way of earning it.
Mhm.
And delayed gratification is not well known to our children today, and it's resulting in more and more kids stealing. They don't know how to do the short term pain to get the long term gain.
Mhm.
Do you get that?
I do. It's sad because when you save for something and then you finally get it, it just means so much more. You enjoy it so much more. So they're actually stealing from themselves.
They are. And you know, it's very sad when a parent doesn't follow up a child who's taken $5 off the dresser or who's pinched some money from their visit to granny's place. When a parent fails to follow that up and to demand restitution or replacement or paying for it, what they do is they teach the child that they can get away with it. Now, when a kid pays back $5, it's not because mummy needed the money. or granny needed the money, they pay that dollar back that they stole to restore to themselves a concept of themselves as honest. Once a child crosses that boundary, once I stole that wallet, I then knew that I was a kid who could do that. And
Mm,
that could have taken me straight into a life of crime because I'd broken that boundary and I had now identified myself as a thief. And once you've accepted that, I think your most precious possession actually is your identity and how you see yourself. It
mhm.
controls your conduct, your deportment, your speech, your language. How you see yourself controls everything. And the
True.
moment I walked out of that shop with that wallet, my concept of who I am was defiled.
Yeah.
And because when I regretted it, I couldn't return it, I had to live with that defilement. And I often used to wonder, am I or am I not an honest person?
Wow. From that
And that,
one incident.
yep. And that's the same with sexual adventure and sexual misadventure as children. I am now a person who can be erotic or rude or sexually immoral because I've broken that boundary. I've tasted that territory, and
Mhm.
now I know what I'm capable of. And so their whole concept of themselves is defiled as a pure person, an innocent child, or a virgin. Our
Mhm.
concept of ourselves must be looked after.
Mm.
Now, I want to finish this little cameo with a story. Years ago, I worked as a contractor, and I used to take prisoners out on day leave to give them a break from the prison and remind them what hard work looked like. Now, this particular day, I had a prisoner out on day leave. His name was Red. And I never forget that when we were on the job site, a police car drove past, and without even thinking about it, he ducked away and dove for cover. And I said, mate, how long have you been pinching stuff that you've got such a bad conscience? Because, of course, he wasn't wanted by the police, but he acted as if he was. He flung his tools and dived into hiding. And we teased him about that all day. But it's a serious matter. And at the end of the day, I was thinking, how can I get through to this guy? What empowering question can I ask him that might change his whole life? And when we stopped outside the prison to restore him to his custodial sentence, I said to him, Red, I'm assuming that you've got a career as a petty criminal in order to get rich. Is that the reason you've been stealing? He said, yeah. What do you think, man? I said, okay, fair enough. So let me check. Are you now rich? Having been stealing for a decade, are you now rich? And he
Mhm.
looked at me like I was an idiot. Nah, man, I'm broke as. Always have been. And I said, so really, stealing to get rich doesn't work, does it? And he didn't really want to answer that. You
Mhm.
can understand because he's living in denial, you see. I said, and this was my coup de grace. I said to him, has it ever occurred to you that it's far easier to get rich honestly than dishonestly? Because you've been working at it for 10 years, you're still broke. You've been working at stealing for 10 years and you're still broke. It's not working, is it, mate? But I said, there are kids getting out of school today that are going to be wealthier than you in 12 months because they know something you don't. It's easier to get rich honestly than dishonestly.
Mhm.
And he looked at me and I could see the cogs turning and then the penny dropped. And he got serious with me. He said, mate, if that's the truth, I'm going straight from this day on.
Fantastic.
And I believed him. I believed the penny
Yeah.
dropped. I
Yeah.
can't be certain, but you see, we're only one insight away from breaking an addiction at any moment.
Mm,
You
mm.
don't need 12 steps to get out of an addiction, including the addiction to thieving. What you need is one damn good insight. And the insight he got was that stealing is not actually his friend, it's his enemy.
Yeah.
So I treat it like any other addiction. We're only one insight away from getting free. And guess who said it first? Jesus Christ reminded us that when we know the truth will set us free.
Absolutely. Thank you, David.
Interesting, isn't it?
It is, and it's true. It is true. And if you do it honestly, you feel good about yourself. You don't have to duck and dive when the police are coming around the corner or they're coming up the street.
You can be at peace with yourself because you know that you earned it the right way, the hard way, and you grew as a result of it.
That's right. Thanks, David. Bye,
Thank you.
everybody.